From the campus of Nashville Christian High School in Bellevue, Tennessee, this is Mike McPherson along with Coach Jeff Brothers bringing you the broadcast of the district game between the visiting Goodpasture Cougars and the host Nashville Christian Eagles. As they're doing the introductions down below, Coach, we come in with a good 7-2 record, 3-1 in the district, and Goodpasture is 6-2 and 3-0. So this is a big district contest for both teams.
Yeah, I think you expect both of these teams to be at the top of the district at the end of the season and playing for a seeding in the tournament. And both teams look to advance. And we've been doing it, quite honestly, through kind of I wouldn't call it a rash of injuries, but we've been affected by injuries throughout the season, and it'd be nice to get back to that full strength by the end of the year.
And speaking of injuries, Riley O'Connor is greeting the starters because she has a broken, is it the tibia? The fibula?
Yes, I'm going to say yes.
The tibia, fibula, or Santa Maria. I'm
Something
not sure which one.
Like
So we've got Ava Pomeroy along with Charlie Harper, Emma Oberbreckling, Whitney Miller, and Grayson Bonds winding out your starters for the Lady Eagles. And so without Riley, we're missing a big presence inside and a good scorer and rebounder. So we've got a guard lineup out there right now.
Yeah, and that's going to be true for both teams, girls and boys. Just not a lot of post bodies, in our program right now. But a lot of girls that can handle the ball and a lot of girls that can shoot. And we're going to look to run and take advantage of our positives.
Kennedy Corley will jump for Goodpasture. Emma Oberbreckling for the Lady Eagles, and she controls it. Charlie Harper quickly to Pomeroy on the baseline. Had a seam, but it closed quickly. Ball deflected back, but we control it. Oberbreckling's going to get called for the walk.
And Coach Goodpasture comes out in a little help side man, and so we're going to have to adjust to the pressure there and take care of the ball, which we didn't do.
Got to kind of sit down on the triple threats and get down low and keep the feet clean. Goodpasture girls will set their offense, and they drive it straight down, and a nice floating shot by Lavanya Hawkins for the first two for Lavanya. She shows some athleticism on that drive.
Yeah, a good hesitation step right there at the top of the key kind of froze Grayson.
Oberbreckling, nice left-handed pass into Bonds, had a nice look. Didn't go in. They're scrambling on the floor. Goodpasture and Nashville Christian will now come out of there with it. Emma investigates the baseline, nothing there. To Miller, back to Oberbreckling, wants the three. Instead, nice left-hand cross court. Bonds gives to Pomeroy, a little short. Goodpasture up nicely. Hawkins for the board, and they're racing into front court, leading 2-0. We are in a man-to-man, helping nicely. Emma got into the lane nicely there, deflecting it out of bounds.
And, Coach, just early on, two, very similar-looking teams, just as far as
they are.
Stature, athleticism, speed, ball handling. It's going to be, an evenly matched game for sure.
So we get it on the turnover. I thought we deflected it out. Here is O'Charlie. And Miller with a college three, not quite there. And Goodpasture scrapes the boards away again. And Hawkins, who got their first two in front court. And she's going to float inside again, bang it off the board, no good. 007 comes out of there with it. Bonds racing past the timeline. We set the 5 out. Harper, long range, way off there. Didn't feel good. That looked like a post-Christmas shot there as we're a little rusty. 6:18 to go on a tough, hard-fought game. Good defense by both teams. And Emma with another good defensive play on the baseline. And Goodpasture to set the inbounds with Perky to throw it in.
Yeah, and a little rust coming off the break, like you mentioned, Coach, probably from both teams, really. So who settles in and starts finding that rhythm is going to determine how this first half at least goes, and then hopefully build towards a good second half presence as well.
Bonds on Hawkins. She gets rid of it as Goodpasture tries a 4-out, 1-in. We're really denying the back cuts nicely. Almost got the 5-second count. Goodpasture struggling with the ball along the baseline, and we may come out of there. No, they finally get rid of it, but our help side is excellent. Goodpasture with gun, a long three, no good. Great block out by Miller, and she'll come past the timeline. Still no score for Nashville Christian, trailing 2-0. Ober Gatlinburg looking for it, takes it left-handed, bounces into Pomeroy in trouble, needs a cutter, looking for one. Now has to just throw it up there because she was about to get a 5-second call. Smart play, but not the shot we wanted, but she had to do it.
Kind of hoping she can draw the foul there. I'm sorry, Coach.
Yeah.
Kind of hope you kind of lean into that, see if you can draw a foul as well.
Goodpasture also struggling on offense as we are both. It's kind of a combination of good defense and rusty offense right now. Goodpasture swings the ball nicely around the side, the horn. Bell gives it over to the corner and trying to drive his boy. She's going to left-hand that ball up there. No good, and we're going to come out of there with it. No, we're not. We get a jump ball and the tie-up with Pomeroy and Perky.
Yeah, I'll give credit to Boyd right there. That was a nice move and went with her. I don't know if she's left-handed. It didn't look like, but she went up with her left hand like you try to teach, and just didn't have quite enough strength to get it over that front rim.
Coach, I think her name is Bird. I think I mispronounced that. I can't read
That's
nice.
Entirely your fault.
Yeah, I cannot read nice cursive writing here, and
another turnover.
A little too pretty. And we do get another turnover. Still haven't gotten on the board at the 4:43 mark of the first quarter. Goodpasture subbing in. We've still got our original 5 in there. And O'Charlie will walk past the timeline. We set in a 4 across. Willie drops down. Over Breckling comes out to get the ball. And we cut Pomeroy through.
Foul.
They're going to call a push, I believe. Now they're going to say we set. No, it's on them, right? Okay, a little bit of a blocking foul or push there, maybe a hold over there on the sideline. We'll set the inbounds play. And Panda Bear gets it into 007. Quickly goes to her. Overbreckling posted nicely. They thought different of it. And we get an over-the-back call on number 23, Bird. And looks like are they going to sub her out? No, out goes Perky. And coming in looks like Sadler. Ball lobbed into Miller. Miller, a 14-footer, was a little short. 4:18 to go. We are approaching the halfway point, still haven't scored. Nice drive, but we kind of bailed her out there. Hawkins kind of out of control, but the athleticism, she got the ball up and drew the 2-shot foul.
Yeah, that foul on Grayson, her first, and our team first. Coach, right now, about midway through the first quarter, we are 0 for 6 from the field.
Cammie Bishop is also sidelined with a permanent knee injury and facing surgery. And so we've got 2 significant players sitting out for us right now. And the shot by Hawkins, good, and that she's got all 3 of their points and make that 4. And they immediately go into a press. Not a lot of pressure. No trap there, but they put nice pressure on Pomeroy, and she's going to cough it up, and we're going to foul coming past the timeline as Wharton coming past gets fouled by Oberbreckling.
Yeah, tough. We fouled 25 feet away from the basket right there. Just kind of some frustration, and that showed.
Coach, we're approaching the halfway point still. It does look like an early January game here for both teams.
Absolutely.
They're going to lob it out of bounds. There's another mistimed play as they try to get the ball to Corley. They've got 2 tall girls in there in Corley and Sadler. They have the definite height advantage, and they immediately tried to go inside, but to no avail. 007 passes it. Overbreckling will struggle with it on the baseline. The ball was a little out of her reach, and another turnover. So it's the island of misfit toys on both ends right now.
It is, and just looking at the lineups right now with their man-to-man, sort of like you said, it's full court pressure, but it's just man-to-man sort of token pressure on the ball, and we have some speed and ball handlers that can take advantage like Grayson did there, just lost it out of bounds.
They've got 4 girls on the court taller than all of ours. They really have the height advantage, and Goodpasture is trying to get it inside. And that time Hawkins couldn't get it inside and hits a floating 12-footer hanging good for a 6-0 lead. So Coach Dan probably trying to figure out, do I call a timeout or just try to play through the rustiness here. 007 out on top with the ball, gets a call from Coach, and they set the court. 6-0, 3:14 to go in an ugly one so far at Nashville Christian. Pomeroy down the lane, lays it up left-handed, no good, but she's going to draw the foul, getting hit on the hip as she drove down the side of the lane.
I believe that was on Sadler, number 55.
So the Panda Bear will go to the line in a 6-0 deficit. Will eye the mark. Guns it. Off the rim. No good. So we're a little rusty in all phases so far, Coach.
We're a lot rusty, it looks like.
And we finally broke the ice at the 3:06 mark with our first point. So Panda Bear gets us on the board. It's 6-1, 3 minutes left right now in the first quarter. So Nashville Christian running a little high-low action. We picked it up pretty nicely, gunning the long three in and out. Nice shot put up there by Bird. And here comes 007. Pulls back, now drives again, handles the ball nicely. And we're going to gun a three. That is Panda Bear, bottom. And immediately, ugly game turns to a one-basket game.
Well, ugly on both ends. You know, it looks like the first game after the break, and Ava did a good job that time setting up the shot. She was square when she caught the ball so she could catch and shoot quickly before the defense had time to react, and it's good to see her hit one from distance.
So Nashville Christian defensively, that time they do not pick up Sadler as she hits it from just inside the key for a nice shot and an 8-4 lead. We move the ball around to Bond. She can't do anything with it. Nice fake there by Oberbreckling. Left-handed up there a little too hard. It was a nice move. 8-4. Goodpasture running nicely, but a little too fast there. Corley could not handle it. We're going to bring in Skylar, Oliver, the Sky, and also Lizzie Dizzy Lacey. 8-4. Pomeroy has all of our points. 8-4. And O'Charlie brings the ball past the timeline. Lizzie Lacey lines up inside, now comes to the elbow along with Pomeroy. We run a double down for Miller to get a three. And it's a shame, we ran it nicely, but we had that double screen and somebody stepped in and a blocking foul called on one of the screeners.
That foul was on Lizzie Lacey, Coach, her first.
Perky checks in for Wharton. So Oberbreckling and Bonds out right now taking a breather. 1:40 to go. Goodpasture leading in a sloppy one here in Bellevue. 8-4. And they're going to come open for a three. And that'll bring nothing but air. Getting the boards, Sadler. She's going to pound inside. She did double dribble. Loses the ball. They get it back outside. And Perky will unload it to Hawkins. Hawkins gets a nice screen. Moves. Nice floater, Coach. That could be her go-to move.
She's a good player, and she's got 8 of their 10 on 3 field goals and 2 free throws.
We throw it away on the sideline there. Again, just a little bit of out of kilter. Goodpasture just a tad less out of kilter. They haven't looked great, but they do have a 10-4 lead at the 1:11 mark. Checking back into the contest is Bell, and out is Bird for the Cougars. Cougars 6-2, 3-0 in the district. We are 3-1, so this is a big district game for early position at the top of the league.
And again, this year especially, unlike most others, like every other, it's a tournament sport, but unlike most others, the regular season is really just to kind of get yourself prepared and shake the rust off, like you mentioned, because there's not a lot of games going on, not a lot of play outside the league.
Hawkins trying to do too much, palmed it. Even though they are up on us, we have played a pretty good defensive game. They haven't had too many great looks, and of course Hawkins has made 3 nice shots that were not easy to make. So we go to 35 seconds, and Harper hopes to hold it for 1 shot, and we're down to a half minute. We kind of cut through and get a little action motion going, and they bring it out to Bonds out top, let her handle it. I don't think we're going to engage yet and hold it for the last shot. But they gave us a little crevice, and she's going to throw one up there. Not a good shot.
A lot of contact on that.
Sure was.
Something had to happen. She did throw the ball up towards the basket. I think after within the contact. So somebody initiated it. That's all I'm saying.
Hawkins with 8 seconds, 7 seconds. Let's see if they give her a double screen out top. They're going to throw it in the corner. She's going to have to gun a 25-footer. Now she drives baseline, hangs again. This time it didn't drop.
We were fortunate there. She did a good job of setting that up. Good shot fake and then dribble drive for the layup and just got a little anxious and threw it off the back iron.
So after 1, Eagles trail the Goodpasture visiting Cougars 10-4. We'll be back in just a moment. Mr. Matt, could you throw me my water right there in front of you? Yeah, thank you a lot. I'm too busy to get it myself, you know. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Coming back out of the break, Coach, we are 1 for 8 from the field, which is 1 3-pointer by Ava, and then Ava hit a free throw, 1 out of 2. So the shooting percentage is not real high for us, and a 10-4 result.
And Goodpasture gets the ball to open the quarter, and Hawkins, really good athlete there. And it's Skylar with a nice steal, but tried to unload it so she wouldn't walk and throws it away. Here goes Hawkins down that lane, nicely dumps off to the power forward inside, no good, gets it back, good, and she was fouled as Corley made a nice move. Didn't lay it up like she wanted, but did get it back and then got hammered as she made the shot, and they extend the lead to 12-4, and we got to be careful that this thing doesn't get away from us early.
We'll just got to, make sure we, as she misses the three-point attempt, we got to make sure we box out after those shots go up, not give them any second chance opportunities right there close.
007 comes out of there with it. Whitley Miller with an NBA three, and it rims in.
Whitley's certainly one that can get us back in here quickly. She's got good range, and she's got a good rhythm in her shot, and if she gets hot, then we'll get back in this pretty soon.
12-7, and Miller's got to guard their big girl inside, so we've got to do a lot of extra help there.
Well, Charlie's doing a good job getting on that midline when our girl's 3 passes away, so that's good help.
And that we did force an overthrow there with good help on the baseline there as we are fronting and then bringing in help side. And so the Panda Bear will walk past the timeline in a 12-7 game. So we're right there in it, 2 baskets away over Breckling, high ball screen. Pomeroy getting a lot of contact.
There's a hip check there.
They finally got it on the second or third smack as she went down the lane, and will draw the foul and 2 free throws.
Well, and kind of fortunate in that they waited until she was getting the shot up before they called the foul. So now we get to 2 free throws rather than just possession on the baseline.
And she nets it for a 12-8 deficit, back down to 4. And she'll have the second of the 2-shot foul. It's 7:01 to go. We trail 12-8 as she rims out or knocks it off the back rim on the second one. Goodpasture with a little bit of, now they're 5 motion as they bring their big girl out, and they're going to mishandle that ball. And Miller struggling down the sideline, and fortunately is hacked over there. So both teams getting in near the bonus at 6:47 to go. Looks like the 5th foul on Goodpasture. We have 4.
And that's 2 on Bird, Coach. I'd like to see it, and she's guarding Whitley, so I'd like to see Whitley maybe take it to her, see if we can draw 3 on her here in the first half.
Oh, Charlie gives it to Panda Bear, who will run the point. Miller setting the ball screen and will pop out for a 3 possibly. No, she sets another one for Harper. Nothing there. Harper dribbling, takes it all the way in, lays it up back over her head. Would not go. Lacey got a hand on it, but they come past the timeline, ripping it and gunning immediately. A 3-pointer, no good. Nice board, laid back up, good by Corley, and she wanted it and got it. Nice board there. Coach, that's going to be a problem for us with the height.
Well, we got to box out. That's the thing. Got to move your feet, got to get your hips into it, and really start trying to move them out, force them to either.
Lacey gunning a 3 off the front rim.
Yep. Sorry, either foul or create some space. Sorry.
No, go ahead. And Lizzie gets back nicely, saves it on the baseline, but they called her out of bounds. Number 55, Sadler, coming back in. It's my wife's maiden name, so that's a special name in my history. And she's a good little girl also here. And Nashville Christian Nice man defense forcing the long pass out top. Goodpasture setting the court.
Good
nice job inside. And we lose it and get it back. And Sadler powers in. Miller set up for the charge, but no call.
Yeah, and unfortunate there that we had two defenders run into each other. Both had a chance to steal that pass and knocked each other off. Kind of like two defensive backs going for the pick, and then the receiver catches it and runs it for a touchdown. When that happened to us in the semifinal.
Well, and we played good defense. Oberbreckling bottom from the three-point line in the corner gets us right back in it. So we keep staying with them and staying in shooting, staying within
shooting distance.
Shooting distance is the vocabulary words I'm looking for there. I've only been doing this 40 years. 16-11, 5 minutes left, and we're helping nicely on the tall girl inside. And now they're going to gun another three. And we paid for our help that time as Perky guns the three, bottom 19-11, and they're back out by 8. So we need to counter each one of these baskets. Charlie takes it in, scoops it up there, and she's going to also
on the floor there.
Get bailed out there with a little bit of a wild drive, but looks like they'll call it underneath, and we'll baseline out of bounds. Down by 8. Just as it looks like they're getting a little momentum and stretching things, we'll get right back in it. Oliver at the elbow, struggled and got rid of it to Charlie gunning the collegiate three, and she nets the collegiate three. Good. And Coach, we're right back to a two-possession game.
Yeah, we've got girls that can shoot. We've just got to get streaky with it rather than just one here and there. So I'd like to see us getting some rhythm. 3 seconds.
We get a break with the 3 seconds as Sadler stayed in the lane a little too long. So we've got another opportunity to get this down to a one-possession game. So Pomeroy will walk it up against man pressure. Both teams man-to-man the whole time so far. We trail by 5 with 4:25 to go. Stopped a little too early. Harper comes out to get it. So we exchange point guards. Oliver flashes to the high post. We know we're short when Schuyler's playing the post. So Pomeroy, now Miller in the middle of the man-to-man. And we're trying to get into her, and we force it badly.
Yep.
Nothing was there. Almost looked like we were attacking a zone there. We just kind of went a 4-out and tried to get the ball to the high post. So we're trying to help inside. Goodpasture, even though they've dominated the game, they're still only 19, but we're only 14. Bench trying to encourage good defense by Schuyler Oliver, and Harper comes out of there with the ball. Breaks the ankle, but loses the ball, but gets it back. She'll gun the three. Did she make it?
No.
Off, and Oliver chases it down with a nice save. Goodpasture knocks it out on the sideline. The possession retained by Nashville Christian.
Yeah, Coach, and one thing we are doing is playing with some intensity. A lot of energy, a lot of effort. And you mentioned Schuyler being on the post. Post, a lot of it is just effort and intensity, and we've got that kind of in spades right now, and that's good to see.
We're outmanned physically, but doing a good job hanging in there. Panda Bear will set the court. Miller high ball screen on the top. Then she steps out. Nothing there. Now gives it to her. She's going to gun an NBA.
That's way out.
And a little too deep there. It's one of those that looks good if it goes, but a little too far out probably.
Yeah, and the right idea, the concept of the play was good. She just was, a little bit about 2 steps outside the range.
We go into a 2-2-1 press, trying to slow the game down a little bit, make Goodpasture work for it. Hawkins comes past the timeline, lobs inside to the big girl, bounces it off Pomeroy's foot, and it will stay with the Cougars.
I like the front with the help side behind, Coach. I think that's going to be good for us based on what they're trying to do. I haven't seen them look to the skip pass at all. So for right now, anyway, that doubling kind of back on that post is going to create some turnovers.
We are packing it down in there. We've given up a couple of threes, but we probably got to do that right now. So we give up another one there, and we may have to adjust there because she's hit another one. That's her second by Perky. And Schuyler's going to gun the three to counter, but does not do it. Goodpasture comes out of there on the baseline with the ball. Roaring gives the ball inside, laying the ball up. No good. There's Hawkins coming out of there with it. She's going to give again to number 10, and she will gun Perky. Misses this time. And Panda Bear with the board. Roaring out of there. We're down 8, 2:25 to go. Really be nice to keep this within 1 or 2 baskets before the half. Oberbreckling quickly gunning it. We're shooting a little early, but they are open shots. And Coach may be thinking, hey, we just got to put those up if we got them. But I think he's got onto Emma more for not being set rather than shooting early.
Well, you definitely want to shoot yourself into rhythm. You know, you got to take shots in order to find that rhythm. But you want to, like you said, you want to be square to the basket. You want to use good form and technique, and you want to shoot on rhythm off the pass and create some open shots, which we've done. So, you know, we're playing well, just missing some opportunities, and we got to secure those.
We respond nicely on the beat the press, and there's Whitley Miller with some nice D. Comes out there with the steal at 2 minutes to go. Takes it all the way into the lane, and she is fouled. And they also kind of bailed her out there because she was a little bit out of control, but took it down the pike nicely, and will go to the line for a 1-and-1. Down 8 with a chance once again to get it to a 2-possession ball game.
Done a good job defensively down here. You know, again, without obviously knowing how this game's going to turn out, what I see in us competing with two teams here that are vying for sort of the top end of the district, you know, we certainly match up well. We play, you know, with good intensity and effort on the defensive end, and that's always going to help us.
Barbecue with the first one, Eyes the second one. Yes, 22-16. So we're right back to a 6-point game. And we're trapping in the corner. They throw it away. Harper gets it, lays it up. Good. And she was fouled. So Coach does a great job there in adjusting, and immediately, instead of a soft press, we immediately attack with a great trap. And O'Charlie played it beautifully, got the steal and won. We'll try to convert it and bring it to a 3-point game. Isaac guns it in and out, no good. And we get a steal. Schuyler comes out of there with it, gives to Panda Bear, takes it baseline, and is fouled as she throws it up. So, Coach, we've made a great run to do what we hoped we could do, get it down to a 1 or 2 possession game by the half.
Well, and again, Coach, effort and intensity. I know I've said that a lot here in this first half, but I really love seeing it from our girls, and I really like how that's kept us in the game. It hasn't been, you know, we do have skilled players, obviously, but it hasn't been our skill that's kept us in. It's been the effort and intensity on both ends of the floor.
Panda Bear didn't have that one lined up. It went off the right side of the rim. She didn't like that at all. Lizzie Lacey checking back in for Skylar Oliver. Very good minutes by Skylar. So the Panda Bear will go to the line with a chance to cut it to a 1-possession game. Isaac guns it. Oh, off the back rim. Looked good. 1:40 to go. Coming past the timeline, almost palmy is Perky, who's hit a couple of threes. And Goodpasture struggled, and they thought she kept the pivot foot. So did their coach. But she stumbled and did a good job trying to maintain her pivot foot. I thought she kept it, but they said it slid.
I've got a question for you, Coach. As a non-basketball expert, she had the ball above her head. She picked up her dribble, had the ball above her head, stepped like she was going to make a pass and didn't, and then put the ball down to the ground to regain her balance. Does that count for anything, or is that just you can use the ball to regain your balance like that? Inside
to Lizzie, no good. I would think if she had not dribbled yet, that would actually be a dribble and should not have been a walk. But I can't remember if she had already dribbled or not. If she had dribbled, it's a double dribble.
It's a double dribble.
Yes,
that's why I was asking. That's what I was thinking.
Lizzie Lacey guns it, and we have struggled here at the line. We could actually have this game tied up if we would shoot a little bit better from the line. And we get that one to go. So it's now, Coach, a 1-possession game.
Yep.
22-19. Goodpasture with the lead coming into the court. And they've got 4 out, 1 in with Corley, who now comes out. And they do a little 5-man pass and cut. And they're struggling to find a nice cutter there. Perky trying to instruct her teammates to move. And now Hawkins out top with the ball. We go just under a minute. Big possession here. As Goodpasture knows they're going to face some tough man-to-man in this game, as they have, in a low-scoring contest on Sawyer Brown Road in early January. Down to 40 seconds. And now we pull a quick double team. And I think it may work, Coach, and it does on that baseline.
Yep.
And we're going to get the jump ball, and it will go to the Lady Eagles. So good play there by Coach Dan. 2 great defensive calls on traps, and both have resulted in turnovers and both big plays. And as we trail by 3 in the last half minute, we got a chance to cut it to 1 or knot it up. We get the the play called. I hope we'll wait under 10 seconds. Sometimes teams shoot a little too early and it gives that other team a chance to get down court. So I don't like to shoot before 8 seconds. We'll see where we go. I think we're going to do that. Looks good. Down to 12, 11. O'Charlie, they switch. Down to 8 seconds. O'Charlie, hop back three. Did it go?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, string music. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Hawkins with a 50-footer will draw air. And Harper with a hop back three at the end of the second canto knots the score in an ugly defensive struggle, 22-22. And a great run here by the Lady Eagles. Hoping to bring Coach Adam Son up here for some comments, Coach. So just eyed him, and he's going to come up here and talk a little bit about their season. Thank you, Coach Adam. We're a small school, so we only have 2 sets of headphones there. It's Coach Adam Son, the boys coach at Goodpasture. And Coach, glad y'all made it across town.
We're here.
How's your team held up with COVID and your school in general?
COVID, school-wise, we had a little bit of a spike, I would say, enough with the contact tracing prior to Thanksgiving that we did not play a basketball game that Hall of Fame and Thanksgiving week. So we did lose a couple of games that usually we're used to playing.
Yeah, we lost a couple.
But I guess erring on the side of caution. So we weren't missing the first 2 weeks of December potentially with the tracing because it's just unpredictable. But fortunately, from a basketball standpoint, we have not had an issue that has halted us since we began playing. So credit our guys for I guess being cautious enough. We did have a few guys in the summer who had it asymptomatically. And the only reason we found out were just drug tests for their summer jobs.
Right.
So it just put it in perspective that like, who knows?
Well, it's an odd year, and it's nice to get out here and play and have a little bit of normalcy for the kids. Coach, this is your 9th year at Goodpasture, and you've had 7 regular season district championships, 6 district tournament championships, only lost 3 district games in those years. Y'all just had an incredible run. You've done a great job over there and have been in one of the top single-A forces here for coming up on almost a decade here.
Well, appreciate that. Obviously, a ton of credit goes to the players every few years that cycle through the program and the work they put in and what they're able to forge and do because it's not easy. But just hearing you mention that and reflecting back on a few of the different leagues that we've been a part of,
you have been.
just
3
like
different ones.
You guys, in ways.
This is your 3rd league you've been in, is that right?
Since I've been at Goodpasture, yes. So my first year at Goodpasture, we played, I think it was 9AA in Division I. With Macon County,
I forgot
who
you
was
were
the class of that district coming in, and we were fortunate enough with that Christian Lynn, Trevor Randolph group to win that one right away. We moved into the single A district their senior year with a reclass of TSSAA enrollment in geography, and had a nice run. But Watertown, Gordonsville, they didn't make it easy every night. I can promise you that.
Right.
And then, goodness, when you play the Upper Cumberland in region play, we were able to get through it a couple times. But goodness, the Clay counties, the Pickett counties, you just see how basketball heavy that part of the state is.
Yeah,
so,
you can have a really good team and go home early, but when you have to run into those walls there.
Absolutely. But then obviously since joining Division II with the publics in one, the privates in the other, it's been good. It's been a lot of the schools we would have played out of league, natural rivalries, and trust me, it's not any easier when it gets down to it. Only so many get into that final 4 of the state, it seems like every good team here and there's got a major player
Right.
as well, and a lot of good coaches
Well,
and resources across the state in this league.
We were not excited about getting into the district with you guys, but because everybody's kind of been just playing for second place the last few years, but you guys have done an incredible job. Speaking of Christian Lynn, his dad, Johnny Lynn, when just about the time I was getting married, he was an incredible player at Beach High School, and I saw him several times whenever my team got eliminated, maybe kind of early, went to out see him. He's one of the best shooters that I've ever seen in the mid-state.
I've heard, and it doesn't surprise me that Christian was able to do what he was able to do. But I think in addition to just, having a family figure, a role model, a mentor that's been there, done that, just the work ethic, that's what jumps off the page to me about, him, that family, and just good basketball players in general.
Johnny, a little while after a few years after he graduated, my sister-in-law was in a terrible accident, and Beach did a fundraiser where the Beach High School team played Johnny Lynn and some alumni players.
Oh, wow.
And Johnny, is I guess at this time approaching 30.
So out of Auburn for a little while, but
he's out of
probably
Auburn.
Still
lights the varsity up for 40.
Of course.
They put
7-1 or 8-1 maybe. I off the top of my head, we have lost.
Who was the loss to?
We went to Memphis and played in a showcase at Bartlett High School, and were paired with Memphis University School. And we were shorthanded, not that would have mattered, but Isaiah West, who was one of our best players, was out for about 2.5 weeks with a sprained ankle, and we lost to a really good MUS team, I can tell you that. But was a great experience to go play with somebody really good, and had a couple guys have really good games that have propelled them to keep going for us right here. But after that, we took a little while. Exam week, we played Laverne in Riverdale's Classic, and then our Classic, with all the changes, it did not end up happening as a lot of other Classics and tournaments around the Mid-State didn't. But we still were able to salvage a couple games out of that, and then we played Columbia Central and Clay County just on random games around the new year. So we've won the last 3 then.
Well, you're doing a great job. I do not miss coaching against you. I miss us talking a lot and sharing stuff, and appreciate you being a good friend to me and to Nashville Christian. And good luck. I always keep up with you, even though I'm out of the loop now in high school coaching, but I keep up with you, and I always hope you guys do well.
Well, I appreciate it. Basketball's a small circle and a great fraternity. So I appreciate the kind words and having me here, and hopefully we'll come play as well as we can
All right,
tonight.
Coach. We'll see you out here in a few minutes for the boys' action.
Right,
Thanks.
take care. Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a brief break here, and we'll be back with the girls' second half and a tough struggle here in just 1 minute. Sorry we're late getting back. Trying to get the boys' game books, scorebooks ready to go in the lineup. So Goodpasture.
Coach, I was just enjoying a chocolate milkshake. That's all I was doing.
I wished I could enjoy one. I can't taste them. But enough about my health issues. Let's back to the contest tonight. Still by Harper. Harper looking to break ankle. She does, and ripped nicely off of her. Could have gone off Harper's waist, but they're going to give it back to us on a great strip there by Hawkins.
After following a great strip by Charlie in the front court there.
Was. So we look for a screen there. We pick up Pomeroy, then a baseline screen for Harper. Nothing there. Bonds holds it, gets back out to Pomeroy. Pomeroy will set the court. 1-4 across. We're tied at 22. We get a double screen across on Whitley. We got called for a foul on that earlier. This time we got it clean, but nothing there. They pick up Whitley pretty nicely. Harper backs back out of there. Go crossover, nothing there. Goodpasture, nice help, and they're going to cause Pomeroy to walk with it on the drive. Good help by Goodpasture that time. Checking in for Goodpasture is number 22. I believe that's Williams.
And Ava had a good move right there to the basket. Just the girl reached in and kind of pinned it against her hip, and she wasn't able to recover it.
In a tie game, Goodpasture, 6:48 to go. 4 out, 1 in. We're really helping inside. Whitley working really hard on Corley inside there, and this time they get inside, lay it up, no good. Great play there by Hawkins, dumping it off to Williams, who could not finish. And fortunately, we come out of there with only a foul on us, but we didn't give up the basket. So Bird will bring it in, and again, they are taller at us than us at every position. But we've played a tough defensive game.
I tell you, the first couple of possessions, we really jumped into the passing lane well and gotten one steal and almost another. Now we
good pass. I'm sorry, Coach.
Sorry, just give up a little diagonal pass right there. But we're doing a good job being aggressive and jumping into passing lanes.
We really are in Goodpasture. You can tell they're making a concerted effort to try to take advantage of that height advantage they have over us. And that time, number 30, Corley, gets fouled, and Kennedy Corley will go to line for 2. And makes the first one nicely. Skylar Oliver check in for 007. And so that's the first point at the 6:23 mark of the third quarter that has been made. And she'll eye it for the second one. And strings that one also for a 2-point lead. Pomeroy roaring past the timeline at 6:20 to go of the third quarter. In a tough fought game here and over dribbled there. Goodpasture's going to pick it up on the steal. This is Perky. Takes it all the way in, holds up nicely. Gives it to the left-hander, number 23, Bird, who bangs it in nicely for a 4-point run here at 6:05 to go. This is how the game began, so we need to stop the bleeding here real quickly. Miller high screen for Pomeroy. We throw it to Oliver in the corner. Nice cut by Whitley, hanging 5-footer, a little short, gets it back, lays it up left-handed, would not go. 2 good shots, but couldn't get them to fall.
And a good pass from Skylar right there, too, Coach.
Hawkins quickly as they transition nicely to lay it up. Williams good in transition. 6-point run. And Coach Dan immediately calling a timeout. And, Coach, we are missing Riley inside and Cammie. Each give us a little bit of a height.
They do. And then, again, just on the offensive end, we've turned the ball over. You know, Charlie had a good move to the basket off a steal and got – I thought it was knocked off her thigh, but they gave the ball back to us, and then we immediately lost it again when Ava got it pinned against her leg and turned it over. And then, Ava again on the dribble penetration right there, just kind of going through there without a real idea of what she wanted, just going to try to react to what she saw and turn the ball over. So we just got to settle back down on the offensive end and get good shots. We created a lot of good shots at the end of the half, and we just got to get back into that sort of routine now.
Yeah, we don't have a large window of mistakes to make against a team like Goodpasture with all the height advantage, because we're having to work our tails off every minute on defense just to try to keep the big girls from hurting us.
And basketball is a game of runs. We just got to limit the length of that run and just start our own.
Panda Bear gets a screen from Barbecue. She tops back out there, really denying her as Bird is really hounding her. Oliver looking inside for Emma. Reverse the ball back to Harper. Thought about a 3. And Emma, who gives to Skylar in the corner. Back to Panda Bear, the 3. Yes. Nice movement by the Lady Eagles. And Panda Bear immediately pulled the trigger. And we're once again back to a 1-possession game at 28-25. Our bench comes to life here. Tough defensive struggle here in early January on Sawyerbound Road. Good pickup by Miller. Bird, who's hit a couple of early ones. Schuyler loses it, and then Bird steals it back. And the ball inside, no good. They try to get the rebound. We struggle on that baseline. We get a jump ball will go to us as Pomeroy, along with the rest of the Eagles, working their tails off defensively to stay in this game.
Yeah, and the best thing we did on the offensive end, good intensity and good energy on the defensive end. And offensively, we showed better patience that last time. Moved the ball around nicely, got the good open look where we were square to the basket, and we can hit those shots.
Wharton and Sadler check back in. More height coming in for Goodpasture. We set 1-4 across. We may do the double down for Pomeroy. No, we do a little UCLA cut that time. And Whitley cut through as she read the screen and went back door, but we mishandled the ball, but we'll keep it on sideline out of bounds. 4:21 to go down 3. They'll let Harper have it. She'll set the court. Both teams been man-to-man the entire time. Oberbreckling lays it down, nothing there. Cross court to Pomeroy. She has the 3. Pull it. Whitley will, and she got blocked there. Pomeroy should have pulled earlier. 28-25, approaching 4 minutes left. Nice steal by Pomeroy. Coming past the timeline, 1-on-2, holds up. Wish she'd have gunned it again. Miller takes it down the lane, lays it up nicely, left-handed. Good. And right, just like that, we are back down by 1. Nashville Christian back on D, picking up Goodpasture, trying to take advantage of transition, but we recover nicely after the nice drive. Goodpasture, a little high-low action. They had the seal that time. Number 30, Corley had the angle and the seal, and the ball deflected out of bounds off of us, though.
Well, I tell you, the entire game, Coach, that's been their Achilles heel. They don't look comfortable trying to make that pass and finish that play.
And it needs to be, I would think, their bread and butter.
Well, I think fronting them has changed things for them.
It may be bothering them. Yeah, it may be bothering them. 28-27 as Corley posting inside. Whitley Miller having to guard her. Got about a foot advantage on her, it looks like, at least 7 or 8 inches. Hawkins gets the high ball screen, drives left. Oh, nice cut inside, laying it up, no good. Gets the ball back, struggles with it, gets it back out. Goodpasture will gun a 3. It will go air, and here comes Panda Bear out. We got a chance to take the lead. She's got the 3. I wish she'd take it, takes it all the way in, no good. Wish she would pull that. Goodpasture back down the court, 3-on-1, and they're going to mishandle it and throw it out of bounds.
And, a 1-point game, Coach, we're not playing our best basketball. I'm sure if you talk to the Goodpasture folks, they'd say they're not playing their best basketball. These are two, very evenly matched teams playing the same kinds of games, kind of runs for good and bad. And it's 28-27 with 2:50 to go in the third. So kind of what you would expect, really, on the front end of this.
In an early January game. Grayson Bonds hits Oliver. Oliver takes it sideline, baseline, nothing there. Now Whitley back to Harper. She'll gun the 3, and she'll make the 3. Good. Nashville Christian gets the lead back at 30-28.
Again, Coach, catching the ball square to the rim, on rhythm, and, we hit those shots well, so I'd like to see us kind of stay in that.
She felt good about that one. Do a little crisscross at the high post. Hawkins wants to gun the 3, and she nicely nets one after we had to kind of drop off the cutters.
Coach,
back to Miller. Miller takes it all the way and lays it up. It is good. And she was fouled on the block by Goodpasture, and she'll go to the line with a chance to tie this game back up, Coach.
It's a traditional 3-point play attempt here for Willie, but I was going to say it looked like an old Harlem Globetrotters against the Washington Generals. Is that
yeah,
who they
the
were?
Generals.
with the high ball at the free throw line and 2 guys crossing in front, and then Meadowlark Lemon turns around and dunks, a bucket full of confetti kind of thing.
Unfortunately, there's only about 4 people listening that have any idea what we're talking about. Barbecue nets it. Excuse me, that gives us a 2-point lead. I was looking at, they were a little late on getting our 2 points up there. So we take a 2-point lead right back, and boy, this looks like it could go to the wire. So they run that 2-1-2 again, trying to get to the high post so they can do a crisscross action, and here they go. This time Sadler takes it, but Oberbreckling forces her out nicely to the corner.
Good job,
where she does not want to go, and on their cut, Oliver deflects the ball out of bounds. 1:45 to go. Not as many whistles this quarter, so this quarter has breezed along here.
And a good job by Emma that time, Coach, defending, like you mentioned, and forcing Goodpasture.
We come up with a steal. Here's Harper. Harper takes it all the way and lays it up. Back overhead, no good after Bonds had made a nice defensive play. Goodpasture regains possession down 2 at the minute-and-a-half mark. Goodpasture trying to take it in there. Once again, we're in good help there. Bonds putting good pressure on Bird, who wanted the 3. And Bonds out there hand-checking her nicely. Corley. Now they have to run offense with a lot of big people, which is not easy to do. And they're trying to drive it in because their big girls are not outstanding great shooters, but they are tough inside. And a nice left-hander up there by Bird, taking it down the lane, hooking it back like Bob Cousy, tying the game. Skylar Oliver picked the ball up a little early, but got it back out to O'Charlie with 50 seconds to go in a tie game, low scoring but exciting contest. Over Breckling, had her feet under and guns it, nets it, bottoms it. Good to take a 3-point lead, and she felt good and balanced there. You could tell as soon as she got it, had her feet underneath her. 35 seconds to go. We take a 3-point lead, and Over Breckling now guarding the big, tall Sadler inside, and a timeout called by Goodpasture with 29.6 to go. He wants a full one, so Coach, we'll take a full one also. Back in a moment.
And Coach, sorry, but before the break there, you mentioned my vintage reference to the Harlem Globetrotters,
yes.
and you bring Bob Cousy into the conversation.
Yeah, that went back to the 50s and 60s there, so most of you have no idea who we're talking about. Study NBA history. All right, with a half minute left, Goodpasture calls timeout to try to knot this thing up or cut it to 1. And looks like they're attacking early. They try to get a backdoor play, nothing there. Instead, they shoot a 3, probably a little early, but they get it back. And they're going to drive along the baseline. We're double teaming it there, laying the ball up, back over her head. Nicely is Wharton. 8 seconds to go. They cut it to 1 to Oberbreckling. She's got a lane to drive. She is rejected at the 4-second mark, so we've got time for one last play. Oberbreckling attacked the goal nicely, and an excellent rejection. Panda Bear quickly to Oliver, who will gun a 3, will be way off. We'll take a 1-point lead to the fourth quarter, 36-35. Didn't quite get the shot we wanted, but we have a 1-point lead entering the fourth canto. And Coach Jeff Brothers, who was a math major at Vanderbilt after prepping at Brentwood Academy, under Coach Carlton Flatt, and bringing some state championships to that program, is quickly doing our math. I'm an Antioch boy nursing a 2.5 GPA back in the 70s, so I'm going to keep the math with Coach Brothers. And, Coach, what do you got?
Well, just in some quick tallies right here, what it looks like to me is for Goodpasture first, Hawkins has 13 points, the only scorer in double figures for them, and most of hers came in that first quarter, quite honestly. Didn't score in the second quarter and then scored 5 here in the third. Sarah Perkey has 6, Wharton has 2, Bird has 4, and Corley has 6. And the last one, Sadler, has 2 as well for their 35, if I got that added up correctly that quickly. And Ava Pomeroy has 8. Charlie Harper on the strength of 3 threes and another field goal has 11. Emma Oberbreckling with 2 threes has 6 points total. Whitley Miller also in double figures with 10. And then Lizzie Lacey with 1 as we enter fourth quarter here, up by 1. And
Goodpasture will attempt to retake the lead as they get the ball on the alternate possessions with the 1-4, and they do a little UCLA cut and really swing it all the way, trying to swing it all the way back around, setting cuts now, kind of a little flex offense a little bit, and gunning a 3 nicely as we got occupied with the cutters is Wharton. Good. Emma comes into front court, gives it to Bonds, who takes it nicely and lays it up good back overhead to take the lead, or rather knot it back up. Goodpasture quickly in the front court looking to get it inside. Nothing there as we front and help nicely.
And Coach Grayson did a good job keeping her balance that time after some contact to get that shot up, in there close.
She did. We're tied up. Bonds picking up. Now Pomeroy picking up the ball. They skip across and gunning another three. This one's no good. And we boxed out nicely but didn't get the board. And Hawkins resets the court. 7 minutes left in a tie game. They lob it inside. And Coach, like you said, they've had the angles but haven't hit the passes.
Yeah, just don't look comfortable with that pass for some reason. I'm sure that's just an old pick and roll. So they've been doing that for a long time, and she just either wasn't ready or didn't know what she wanted to do if she did catch the ball, and just mishandled it.
So O'Charlie walks it up in a tie game. Bonds comes out there to set the court this time. 38-38. O'Charlie, they clear it out for her and set a double over for Miller, and they're really hounding her. Get to Pomeroy on the baseline for a 15-footer. Yes, Harper driving the baseline, little ghost play there, and we get it back at 40-38. We've got a tough fault defensive struggle here. Taking the ball in, laying it up, no good, but we're going to get pushed, or we're going to push on the drive there. And I tell you, we're playing a very gutsy defensive game.
Yeah, and only our third foul of the half, so we can play aggressive right now. We got some to use here in the fourth quarter.
Sadler rechecks in for Corley. Goodpasture, as we've mentioned several times, is height advantage at every single position, and we have really played hard to stay in this game and up two. Hawkins spins nicely. She walked. 6:13 to go. She went in a little too deep and got caught on her heels, and Pomeroy will bring it up along with O'Charlie. In a 2-point game, 6:13 to go. Good time to really get a good shot here. Overreckling pops out. She's got her feet under again.
Yep.
Bombs it. Good again. String music. She hit that one from Charlotte Pike. 43-38. 5:55 to go. And a big play. We just said we need a good conversion here and got it. 5-point lead. Bench alive. Oh, Overbreckling gets knocked down on the charge. Sadler running her over. Overbreckling with the offensive, then defensive plays back to back to give us a 5-point gap. Goodpasture saying that's a flop. But it was a good flop if it was.
Well, there was certainly contact. If anything, she was there up underneath Sadler, maybe a little bit, but Sadler turned into her, lowered her shoulder, and there was certainly contact. So
Great
it wasn't
play.
a flop. It was either a blocking foul or a charge, and we got the benefit of the call there.
O'Charlie gives to Overbreckling, drives left. Will left-handed over here to Pomeroy, takes it down, lays it back to Bonds. They swing it. Overbreckling, did she make another one? Not this time. And this time Hawkins comes out of there with the ball. They're ahead 5. And they're going to gun an early 3 also, and that's good for number 23, Bird. And the coaches at Goodpasture immediately signal for a timeout as they stop our little run and get a 3 of their own at 5:16 to go.
Well, and it's not that we've outscored them here recently. We've just the momentum has swung just in terms of energy, and so just trying to break that up a little bit. But Emma's playing really well right now on both ends of the floor, and both teams, again, just very comparable teams, very equally matched contest tonight, and they're both playing probably about like we should expect them to at this point in the season.
The second half has been much more smoother and well played than the first half, and both halves are very close, and so you can't get too much closer here. 2-point advantage. National Christian will probably face a full court press by Goodpasture, and that's maybe not. Okay, they're going to back off here. I thought they might come with a little pressure here. O'Charlie will walk the ball up as we're approaching the 5-minute mark in the last period here. So we set a play here. 4 across. They're really shoving Whitley a lot there, trying to keep the ball away from her. We get Whitley sets a back door, then sets one for Emma, who back cuts. We saw her late. She gets it back out, swings it to Pomeroy. Pomeroy inside to Whitley. Forced a little bit. They had a little too much help that time.
Yeah, and Whitley came open early in that play, but by the time Ava got control of the ball and was able to make the pass, good recovery by Bird defensively.
Miller into Harper. Cross-court Bonds. Bonds has a three, being guarded by Sadler. O'Charlie backs it out there, gives to Pomeroy. Coach wants to play, and 007 sets it. Whitley cuts through. She's really being dogged there by Bird everywhere.
And Coach, I'd like to see us clear the floor for Grayson right there. She's being guarded by a defender who's not as quick. There we go, a little ball screen
Bonds
for her
takes
there.
all the way and lays it. Oh, it was a good shot. Battling for it. Sadler knocks her down, and Goodpasture comes out of there with it. Hawkins rolling past the timeline, finds a gap, takes it all the way down, and Whitley hammers her as she was getting ready to take the ball up. Fortunately, got her on the floor. Goodpasture will inbound down 2.
Yeah, that was a good foul because that was going
really
to be a
was.
layup, and I think Hawkins is probably more than capable of hitting that shot, certainly. And so Whitley just prevented that, forced a defensive reset right here, and hopefully we can get some pressure.
So Goodpasture sets the inbounds. They bring to Hawkins. Little baseline action as Bird inbounds and curls around the post. Nothing there. She fakes a three, takes it down the lane. Good pickup by Harper. They're so much taller at every spot than us, but we've hung in there and lead by 2 halfway through the 4th canto. Nashville Christian, great man-to-man defense tonight. Goodpasture struggling. They reset and call another play. Looking for the post. Whitley fronts her nicely. Post flashes across. Whitley lays on her back. No call. This time Goodpasture lays it down, and they're going to gun a three. A Bird again, in and out. We got fortunate there. She had a good look.
That was a good look and should have gone down, really, by all accounts.
3:35 to go. Oh, we've got Harper all alone. Backs it back up as Hawkins recovers nicely to close out on her. Pomeroy ahead 2. Over to 007. She brings it back out. We may try to milk some here. Setting some curl screens inside. Nothing there. And Bonds backing it out here. And I kind of like this. I'd like to milk a little bit here. Make them come out and guard us. Nice job by Bonds breaking that 5-second count as they're trying to guard Corley, trying to guard her. We do a UCLA cut. Now Pomeroy. We'll see what she can do. It's down to 2:55. We lead by 2 in a nice district game here on a chilly Tuesday night. Bonds, they help nicely as she drives. Oberbreckley, who's had the hot hand from 3, who's swinging around to Pomeroy. He's going to take it in. Lays it back up left-handed, rejected nicely by Corley. Hawkins past the timeline, a chance to knot the game up.
That was a good offensive set, Coach. Just unfortunate that girl got, with the size factor, they got a hand on Ava's shot.
Bird wanted it, instead backs it out here to Hawkins. Hawkins left side to Wharton. Wharton takes it all the way in, gives to Bird. She'll gun it. Bottom. Yes. And they call another timeout to set their defense, and they quickly take the lead back as we go back and forth here at Nashville Christian.
Well, Coach, both of us in a sort of a similar situation. They're actually maybe at this point a little better off than us, but up by 1 and only 2 fouls, they can be aggressive defensively, not give up any shots. Anytime somebody gets penetration, a foul on the floor prevents a layup or an inside, close range shot. We could do the same thing, only we need the lead to do it, so we got to hit a shot here at some point.
That was a big one by Nashville Christian. By Goodpasture take the 1-point lead. Only 6 fouls committed in the second half. So this half has buzzed along quite quickly. It's just 7:07. It's started at 6 o'clock. So I think the officials have done an outstanding job.
It's been well called. I agree. Been balanced as far as calls on both sides, kind of consistent throughout play, and that's
very
a good
much
sign.
so. One of the better games I've seen called in a long time. 2 minutes to go. Pomeroy comes spinning off some screens now to Miller. Really being hounded there by Bird, who's done a good job on her. Gives a ball screen. Nothing there. Emma wanted that 3. They picked it up pretty good. So we're really trying to get a good shot here. And this will be a big one because we're now down to the 145 mark. Pomeroy, Bonds, they double team her. Nothing there for O'Charlie. Bonds sets the court. Goodpasture really playing good defense. Bird all over Miller. She comes up to set a screen. Let's see what they do with it. They force through Whitley. And O'Charlie's going to get the 3. Bottom! And they sagged off for just a little too much. Coach, she had a window and gives us a 2-point lead 1:15 to go as Goodpasture sets their court.
And, Coach, I love our patience. And, again, right now we're in a position where we can foul on the floor and not give up easy penetration shots.
Ball whipped around. They're looking inside to Bird. It's 4 out, 1 in. Again, they have to play 3 big girls on the perimeter. And, again, that's not easy to do.
Steal.
Pomeroy almost comes up with a steal. Struggling with the Goodpasture. They kept it. And what are they going to call? A timeout. Goodpasture, good timeout to kind of bail them out of a little bit of a hectic situation. That timeout is called with 55 seconds left in the contest as the Lady Eagles lead 46-44. This has been a good one.
Well, and, Coach, like I said, good aggression right there by Ava and Grayson. Both got some tap-away opportunities. Couldn't quite come up with a steal, but be aggressive on the floor. If you don't let them get in a rhythm and get a good shot, you've got 2 fouls to give before you put them in a bonus situation.
It would be really nice to pull this one out. That would bring us even with Goodpasture in the district.
And then holding the tiebreaker at this point anyway.
Exactly, and a long way to go on all that. But you always like to get that top seed if you can, and it kind of usually helps you out down the road. And both teams have really played an outstanding defensive game. And
Coach, really for both teams, a measuring stick game really is all this is. You just want to see where you are, how you match up, what the literal matchups person to person are on the floor, because when you get in tournament, it's most likely we're going to see each other again.
And the 2 factors that, even though I think Goodpasture's played well and hard, we're missing one of our top players, one of our top starters, and we have a definite height disadvantage. And so our effort has been outstanding. That's not taking away anything from Goodpasture. They have played a very hard game also.
Yep.
And they will inbounds it as Hawkins will set their court. So here we go, 54 seconds to go. And let's see, they set a horn screen out top and then a flare across, deflected. And we pick it up nicely again. Good defense down to 40 seconds to go.
Good help sign in recovery there, Coach.
It was 40 seconds right now. And we can't foul, 4 to foul, as Coach said. And they're kind of double teaming there. And Goodpasture struggling a little bit with the pressure. We left Bird open, but they didn't see her, down to 28 seconds. Ball taken to the baseline. They kick it back across the left wing. Gunning a long 3. Did she make it? No. Harper comes out of there with it with a 2-point lead. They've got a foul. There are 18 seconds to go. It goes back to Harper, 15 seconds. Why aren't they fouling now? They're chasing after. 11 seconds to go.
Timeout.
We got a timeout call.
Almost got a 10-second call there, and Coach Dan did a good job of kind of pacing that and then calling timeout before that was an opportunity.
And the Goodpasture girls kind of forgot we have got to foul there and could not do that.
Well, I will say, I don't know if this was the intent, but I will say this. The way we were sort of taking our time in the backcourt, we were very close to a backcourt 10-second violation, which would have given them the ball with 10 seconds left.
Right. That would have been big. So we will have a 2-point play here. A 2-point advantage as we inbounds the ball here for this play. So Goodpasture will try to get the 5-second call. If not, they'll then try to foul immediately on the floor.
And you know, Coach, I happened to have glanced up when we got that rebound, and there was 21 seconds left. So it's really been right at the 10-second period. And so, I applaud Coach Dan for being alert to that and calling that. It would have given them the ball with 10 seconds left in the backcourt, and I'm not sure emotionally if we would have been able to handle that with that opportunity. And
the officials may have been a little late on starting that 10-second call, or maybe waiting till the rebound was totally secured.
Yep.
So here we go. In a 2-point lead, Pomeroy to inbounds it. We set the court, and they don't have a free man back deep. We've got a back cut here wide open. No, now Bird's going to back up. Excuse me, Perky. Perky now backs up, so we don't have that. Set a little cross screen into immediately to Whitley. She gets rid of it, and back to Pomeroy. Boy, did enough time tick off? That seemed like more than – weren't there 11 seconds left?
10.4. So 1.4 gone.
Okay,
so
here we go.
Assume a little delay.
And we're going to throw it in backcourt, which is very smart. That's what we want to do. Bonds is fouled immediately, 7 seconds. Smart play there. As we throw it back, Bonds, they got a foul again, Coach. It's still just 4 fouls.
That's where they're at the disadvantage now with only having a few fouls. But if you have the lead, that's good. If you don't, that's an issue.
We got an inbound. We had Miller there. Harper dribbling the ball away. They're not fouling. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, down to 2 seconds.
And still just their 5th foul. So they're not going to get enough fouls before they force the 1-on-1 situation.
So still, they got to foul again. They're in trouble if we can just touch it here twice. And we lob it to Whitley. Whitley's going to let the run out. And we'll take that one.
Yeah, they could have been, again, once we hit the 3 and they go down and miss their possession, you almost kind of have to start just hacking because you got to get to the 7 foul mark if you're going to force the 1-and-1. And they laid off defensively. You know, great opportunity. They'll coach off of that and teach it again. It's a measuring stick game. You got to know the situation. A great opportunity for them to have that experience. Great opportunity for us to have the experience of holding on to that lead.
It was
not panicking.
Outstanding game. Again, our one of our leading players, Riley O'Connor, out, and Coach Dan coaches a great job. The team responds well, runs some good stuff, plays great defense, and wins a thriller here by 2. And the boys' game will be starting in a few minutes. And thank you for joining us, and hope you'll hang around here for boys' action as they get ready to warm up here. So, Coach, we'll be back in just a few minutes.
Yep, sounds good.